Hmm. Yo. All right. Let me grab this before we start. Just this came across the timeline very quickly. Oh, what's the best way to do this? Okay. Hopefully everyone's doing well. They had a great weekend. I'm Chris, the DeFi professor, co-founder Beacon DeFi, where we help DeFi, where we where we help onboard and educate people on how to get into DeFi safely and securely. With that said, this is an interesting. Let me, whatever. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to talk about this. So, be very careful. I would say this is not the normal browser I use for Twitter, but this is my research browser. This is Sigma OS. If you're on Mac OS, definitely one that I like. Has a lot of good keyboard shortcuts. I also use Arc, which now is an Atlassian browser. I need to try out Dia. Haven't gotten around to doing that either. It's also from the browser company that makes Arc. They're literally called the browser company. And this is a big problem. Probably better to, and again, this is kind of nerdy, but the important part is right here in the middle. There's what's called a supply chain attack. So if you're a developer, a supply chain attack is any attack that happens to any of the boilerplate modules that you're using. So it's very simple to make a boilerplate app these days to get started. You start off with, let's say you're using React or something like that on the front end. You go to your bundler, whether that be um, Yarn or whatever you're using. Create React app, CRA. There's all this kind of stuff you can use to create apps, specifically with JavaScript on the front end with npm, which is Node Package Manager using Node.js, which is a very popular modular framework for developing web applications. A supply chain attack happens in any of these standard pieces of modules that you'll have. Like even if you have a very simple web application, you'll see like in a node modules folder, if you decide to create an app, even if you're vibe coding an app, you're just going to see a ton, if you're using JavaScript, a ton of things in what's called the node modules folder, meaning that if you want to include something that gives you like a framework for styling for CSS, for example, or something very basic, as you bring in other modules to help you create the vision that you're looking for, the piece of software, those have all of these dependencies that come along with it. You are taking a risk, to be quite honest, to bring that in there if you're not going to code it yourself. One thing that we talk about, and if you guys didn't know, I'm also a university professor. And with regards to when I teach students with regards to becoming software developers, is honestly, it's great to have the ambition to want to code your own stuff, but you're just kind of wasting your time because most likely, in most cases, someone has already coded what you're looking to build from a very modular standpoint, right? In this case, and I'll pull up the Substack here. The package is called error-ex. It's literally just a package that is used to help with error reporting for, I mean, it's crazy. So if you use React or Express specifically, there's a chance that error.ex is there. Um, this has the opportunity to really just attack everything because there's a lot of different modules that currently use this code. Now, well, um, thankfully, this guy's talking about it, but the ironic part is, and I'm saying this with all due respect to Ledger, when the CTO of Ledger, who has had really bad optics on specific parts of their code base getting exploited, when they talk about having a red flag on a supply chain attack, you got to listen because they are definitely under the microscope for stuff like this. The reason why this is interesting isn't just because it's a JavaScript issue. It can actually lead. Oh, where is it? The one that really that yeah, this is heavily obfuscated code designed to be unreadable, but buried within the mess is a function name that made our blood run cold, which is check Ethereum W. This can go and grab seed phrases. It could grab not seed phrases, private keys. It could grab all kinds of things if you are infected. Now, the question is, how do I get infected? Most likely, if you use a web page that has been infected with this supply chain attack. So, per Charles's tweet, and I've already alerted my communities to this, both our mastermind as well as our total value locked free group. If you don't have to be on the blockchain today, I would recommend you do not be on the blockchain today. If you are using a trading service, a bot that uses something that is not web-based, I think you're probably most likely fine. In any case, you should take the time to check what you sign. Meaning, like for example, we recommend Rabby to all of our groups, or also Phantom for Solana. Double check when you get that confirmation page with the approval that you know everything that needs to be signed. Rabby thankfully has a beautiful interface where you can check to see how old. Well, I mean, I guess it won't matter at this point because it's a front end issue, not a smart contract issue. Regardless, be very careful to what you're signing here. Apparently, it's going to be it swaps crypto addresses. So yes, double check exactly what you're signing. You don't want to be in a situation where, because it does come from the front end for the approval, that it's not going to a bad crypto address. Make sure it's whitelisted. Let me see if I can come up with a. Well, when it comes to, let me see if I have something. 1 second. I might have something. Let me pull this down real quick. Also, shout out to ex-co-host for helping power this. If you are looking for tools to become a great content creator that involves currently Twitter, but also further new platforms coming soon, please check out ex-co-host. They're very kind to induct me into their cohort for this year as a creator, and I very much thank them for the opportunity as well as the numerous friends and networking opportunities that have come my way because of being a part of ex-co-host cohort for this year. So shout out to them. And if you sign up, please let them know that I sent you. There's a free plan. Let's see. You'll have to bear with me. I'm going through a guide that I've created for something. Let's see. Yeah. Let's do this. So this is for a guide I've made on how to supply ETH on Euler Finance that we give out to our mastermind. But um, in Rabby, you have the ability here on the transaction simulation to check out the interaction contract. Check on that. You want to make sure that the address that you're going to is A. You want to make sure that A, sorry, there's a gnat right here. This protocol piece, when you click on it, it should say the protocol you're interacting with, and the deployed time should be greater, in this case, than 3 days, I would say. If it's anything less than 3 days, shut it down. Shut it down, because there is no reason for you to be interacting with that. This is about knowing what you sign. This is something we talk about in our mastermind, in our groups, even in our free group a lot, even on our community trains that I do every Friday at 3. Knowing what you sign. It's about understanding that part and not going too quickly. There is no reason to like speed through this. Treat your investments like a business. Your tax like them, regardless if it's TradFi, regardless if it's crypto. You got to make sure that you're looking to make sure that the contract you're interacting with is the correct contract. In the event that this looks fishy, stop it. Go to the community. Like in this case, this would be Euler. Go to their Discord, check out their socials, make sure that everything is okay, because they should be letting you know in the event that there's a new smart contract that's been deployed. Because the one thing about smart contract technology is that, sorry, that beep just threw me off. I don't know if you guys heard that, but smart contracts are immutable, meaning once they're deployed, there is no way to change them. The only way to change that smart contract is to deploy a new one. So in the event that somebody has deployed a new one, go back and just double check and make sure. That's weird. Why would you do that? But be very careful. But that would be the one thing. I would say in the event that you don't need to be on chain, don't be on chain until this gets fixed. With that said, because this is a supply chain attack, because it's coming from one specific source, someone can go and make that change to EX error EX right now. The only thing that needs to be done is that any affected projects and protocols now need to go and update to that most recent package. Just do a quick update. Thankfully, the Substack we were looking at, from this gentleman at I don't even know who he works for. I apologize. It's JD. That's just observations by JD. Actually, there's a couple. He's also saying the NPM account of the popular developer Kix was also compromised. Let me get back to that. And this may not necessarily affect you either. This is just something that oh, this is the same thing. Yep. Air EX. Right. So not just crypto, there's a lot of stuff that is affected here, because all of these modules, like I mentioned in the beginning, use Air EX as part of their workflow in terms of how the actual product works. So while this is very simple with something like Chalk, check Ethereum W is a big issue. So it's a sophisticated crypto clipper. This actually is a scarier version of this. So oh shit. It intercepts all web request responses, regardless. but it does request wallet accounts. Mm. So it looks for something called run mask, and that would probably be the app, the specific thing. All right, this is a much better thing to check. Let me grab this. I'm gonna put this on my tweet as well as my posts on my communities. 1 second. Actually, that's not it. Hmm. Interesting. Sorry, they changed it's not going to this anymore. In either case, because if I go to the other one, oh, okay, okay. So this is a the hell just happened. Okay, so this goes to the. So we've been looking at it so soon. It wasn't. It had the wrong one in cache. This is a much better version of what's going on. Um, yeah, this is a little scary, bro. Seriously. So I would say in the event that, I would say just don't use a web browser to do DeFi today. That would be my that would be my recommendation. Um Now, I would say this is check if window.ethereum exists. So if you're using Solana, if you're using another blockchain that doesn't use Ethereum, um, I would still have a little bit of caution just to be safe. This will get patched, and then it'll just be a matter of how quickly uh, people take note of this. Okay, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, and again, be safe out there. Know what you sign. Use a hardware wallet. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. Okay, so it looks like this is mainly ETH, but Actually, I take that back. It uses active transaction hijacking, so it doesn't matter if you're using Ethereum. All right, so this is how you would fix this in the event that you wanted to get out of that as a developer. Mm. Hit the wrong button. Probably want this. Nope. Nope. Don't want that one either. Back to where I was. Let me make sure. I just need to make sure I actually turned on my stream on Abstract. I did. Hmm. Wow, I got all kinds of comments on my retake. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching me on retake.tv. Love that team. So yeah, just be careful. Oh, they actually have the full source code. That's kind of crazy. The only thing I'm worried about with this is copycats, right? So in the event that, again, we'll keep watching this, but I'm pretty sure that as long as, yeah, I would just say don't use the blockchain for the next even 6 hours, the very least. I say that as my meme coin pinger is pinging me for things on Cabbage, and I'm like, nope, not gonna do it. Just be careful out there. Right now, I'm gonna have to dig in for a little bit once we get past some of the articles to try and see if there's any updates to this, to see if there is specifically. Let's look at. Let me grab this. See if there's an update. Oh, comments. On the bright side, sellers can't sell. This is why. That's why I love the internet. A lot of times I still can't believe this application is free. Yes, I'm memeing. I'm trolling the hell out of it. Oh, it also gets your clipboard. Ooh, be careful there. Yikes. Yeah, don't use the internet. No, I mean don't use anything with regards to DeFi or crypto for the next 6 hours. That's nasty. Definitely, if you use a hardware wallet, you're probably okay, but still at the same time, that doesn't mean you haven't connected it to something. Um, actually, uh, hmm. Yeah, for Charles to say, and you can't see the comment here. Um, Actually, that guy's fudding. Yeah, and I mentioned it earlier. Know what you sign, right? Yeah, because this is attacking all your transaction data before you even sign. The moment you sign, you're toast. So I would just not do anything. That's my. I mean, for those who are curious, I've been in crypto since 2011. I've been in DeFi since 2019. This has been my full-time career since 2021. So I've seen it. I would say to be safe, just don't do anything for 6 hours. And if you have to, just know what you sign. There are a lot of people who know jack shit about programming talking in these. What about those who continue to keep it on an exchange? Okay, don't answer that. Oh goodness. Goodness gracious. Huh. All right, let's get to the articles. So yeah, this is me streaming what I do for work on Mondays in the early afternoons. I've already done all my client success type stuff for all of my members that I need to do in the morning. Had a couple calls already, some BD calls. So now we're going to go through the research because I do put out a newsletter for our mastermind community every day called our weekly Beacon Digest, and this is where we're going to get some of that inspiration from. So stay safe out there, guys. We'll start off with Feedly. That is my go-to as we begin. Let's do two things. Let's switch up the background. And let me make this bigger and shorter. Nope. Come on. Smaller. Seriously. There we go. If I make this wider, there we go. Now that looks better. I should have done this before I started, but it is what it is. I wanted to get online quickly because I wanted to talk about the issue with the supply chain attack. Again, very dangerous stuff, guys. I don't want anybody to lose any money. People ask me all the time, Chris, what's the way to make money in DeFi and crypto? I'm like, it's simple. You don't lose it. So anything you can do to not lose money is key. Let's get the music going, of course. That's something that we do. Oh well, no music. I need music, but we'll go through this. So this is what we do. We check out these articles. As you can see, they've already talked about this critical hack specifically for that. So we are good about that. Let's see. Here we go. Mega ETH. I wonder where they got that photo from. That looks like someone I know. All right, so Mega ETH, the quote-unquote real-time streaming blockchain with like 150,000 transactions per second, or TPS. They're going to be creating their own stablecoin with Athena, the creators of USDE, as well as USDTB with BlackRock and Securitize. They have their own stablecoin chain coming called Converge. This one's called USDM. Yeah, we'll grab this one. It's a CoinDesk one, so whatever. OpenSea launches $1 million NFT reserve. I don't know what that means. Oh, they're creating some sort of digital asset treasury, but instead of Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, Hype, Pengu, XRP, or Tau, they're using NFTs. All right. I'm curious enough. Thank you, Retake, for the tip. Appreciate you. $1 million reserve. Collection begins with the purchase of CryptoPunk number 5273. So this means, I mean, I would think that they're going to buy Pengu or Pudgy Penguins, Milady, Moonbirds, maybe even a Doodle, the squirrely thing, and maybe some other high value NFTs, you know, that have long-standing floors and stuff like that. I've never been a big Ethereum NFT guy. I mean, I have some. I have way too many Solana and Avalanche ones and some Polygon ones, but never on ETH mainnet, just because, it is what it is. Bitmine Treasury holdings surpassed 2 million ETH. They bought 319K worth of ETH over the last week, according to Bankless. This was Bitmine, their Bitmine immersion. Their goal is to get to 5% of the global ETH supply. So if you're selling, they're buying, and they're 34% or something like that away of the way there. So I wouldn't doubt Tom Lee, guys. I think they're going to do it. So get on the ETH train, right? Alex Mashinsky starts his 12-year prison sentence this week. I'm guessing that's in a high, very cozy facility for him. Strategy buys another 217 million in BTC because someone keeps selling. Don't be one of those people. Okay. All right. So this is the other thing that is on the timeline this morning. NASDAQ seeks. Well, they've filed a petition with the SEC to greenlight tokenized stock market. Bear with me. I'm very itchy today. I took my allergy meds, but you know, sometimes you just need a good back scratcher. I will say, if you don't have a back scratcher at your desk, what are we doing? Oh, my goodness. Don't clip me. Anyway, $1 Pier 1 Imports. Shout out to Pier 1 Imports, man. Store from my childhood. Ugh. I also, before I went live, realized I hadn't worked out this morning because of everything happening, so I went and pushed some weight for a little bit here in my basement just to say that I could get started. I normally do 100 kettlebell swings with a 20-pound weight, and I also do bent over rows with a 65-pound weight bar. AMRAP, basically, as many as I can do. Oh, burning. Muscles burning. Need more protein. Yeah, so this is a big deal if this happens. Little by little, then all at once, right? So that is something that could really be interesting in the event that that happens. Yeah, and there'd be like all kinds of things that would happen if NASDAQ was able to green light a tokenized stock market. Man. Oh. Well, well, well. What do we have here? LGHL. Again, we're going to see more of this over the next, probably into Q4 at least, because I do think Q1, Q2 of 2026 is really going to be when shit goes crazy, if you're asking my personal opinion. Just because there's just not enough time left in the year, so it's just like, do you really need to launch anything? I mean, all of the new L1s, like, Stripe's Tempo, Arc, even Google's new GCHL, or I'm sorry, the rhymes with tickle, UC. Their blockchain ledger product. I don't think any of that happens till Q1 2026 at the earliest. So while we wait, why not everybody go and buy Hyperliquid, right? This is kind of interesting. They're dumping all of their SUI and SOL to become a Hype treasury asset company. Hype went above $50 today, by the way. So congrats to all the Hyperliquid holders who are continuing to hold on as their bags go towards Valhalla. That's pretty cool. That won't be, I'll put it maybe in our links of things that you may want to consider. For those of you who don't know what Hyperliquid is a perpetual DEX. Hyperliquid is fairly young, like roughly about a year old, maybe a little bit more than that. But they have quickly become the largest perp DEX in all of crypto, launching past GMX, launching past Drift, and some of these other smaller, what are now smaller, but still good perp DEXs. What's great about Hyperliquid is that they have Hyper EVM, which is their own side chain they've bolted on that has access to all the assets on Hyperliquid Core, which means, very simply, smart contract shenanigans to try and maximize as much activity or profiting from the behavior of other investors as humanly possible. Staking, liquid staking, lending AMMs, native onboarding through things like HyperUnit and stuff like that. And with HIP 3 coming sometime, hopefully later this year, with builder perps and stuff like that, we're going to see a lot of things really just blowing up on Hyperliquid. So again, not financial advice. The only advice I was giving was earlier on when we were talking about the exploit. Yeah, I would definitely, that's advice. Don't use the blockchain for the next 6 hours. It's not worth you losing money. I had access to Hype at $2. It's at $50. Okay. The CFTC. Hello, Caroline fam. They're going to explore whether trading platforms under MiCA or MiCA, how you want to describe it for the EU, which is their crypto framework that they've had in excess of a year before the United States got their act together, to be able to serve the US markets. I think that's probably a very good thing. Well, I'm going to have to put this in there as well. Let me grab that. Matthew Siegel's a very interesting author on things. All right, back here. Yeah, so the fun story from last week is there's an opening on the S&P 500. Robinhood was there, but there was a chance that MicroStrategy would have gotten that spot as well. Well, it probably wouldn't have happened. For a split second, I was imagining a world where MicroStrategy is what the name of the company is called now, but MSTR being in the S&P 500, since they technically qualify on all of the criteria that they would need for from a P&L and CapEx standpoint, right? Man, could you imagine a world where a company whose only strategy is to buy as much Bitcoin as humanly possible was in the S&P 500? We wouldn't have heard the end of it from those maxis now, would we? That. Again, for those of you who follow the stream, it's been like 3 weeks since like the pest control guy was here to actually spray inside. And ever since he did that, we've had gnats, fruit flies. I'm like, the hell, guys? I digress. Probably should put that in there. Nemo protocol and SUI got exploited before planned maintenance. I do hope they make. I do hope that they make that work out. I mean, 2.4 is a lot of money. Oh, there's been a run. There's been a run. Hopefully they work out. I personally have never used Nemo, so. TMPs to those who do. Right, the other one, the Chainlink ETF. That's my reaction. I mean, that's good. I mean, Chainlink has their spot. They're not going anywhere. So, I mean, am I shocked by this one? No. I'm surprised that kind of surprised it hasn't happened already, to be honest. There's a Pengu ETF, for God's sakes. Why is there not a Link one? Shout out to all the Link Marines. Tetra Digital raises $10 million to create a regulated Canadian dollar stablecoin. Well, Simple and Shopify are also backers. Okay, this is interesting. We'll talk about it. There's really not much to say, to be honest, but we're going to see more of these. There is a post on my timeline today about, do we really need more stablecoins? I mean, overall, of course, the answer is most likely, I still think it's yes, because, I mean, Tether still holds more than 50% of the pie. So yes, we do need more stablecoins until that number goes down, which it will inevitably, right? The Genius Act is opening a lot of doors. We have people fighting for the native stablecoin of Hyperliquid. Paxos is in the ring. A couple other people are in the ring. Van Eck, I believe, is also in the ring. There's a bunch of people that are in the ring that are trying to get Hyperliquid's native stablecoin. So, I mean, even people freaking out about Circle having to disclose that 10% of USDC is in the platform. I mean, that shouldn't be news, considering to get into Hyperliquid Core anyway, you can only onboard native USDC from Arbitrum or also from Hyper-EVM. So you're trading with native Circle USDC. So I don't know why people are shocked by that idea, that 10% of the supply is in Hyperliquid. I mean, yeah. They have nearly $2 billion in anyway. I'm not going to go deeply into that. Coin shares to go public through a SPAC deal with Vine Hill. Meh. Bybit resumes full crypto trading in India after paying $1 million fine. Come on, man. That's nothing. All right. Big news for the eye scanners. Oh, treasury deal. A DATCO, a digital asset treasury company. 8Co Holdings is doing a $250 private placement. Not a pipe, but a private placement at $1.46 a share. Oh, Bitmine perp. So now we have a WorldCoin DATCO. I would love just to be in the line at coffee for these guys, just to kind of hear what they talk about, because a lot of this is just, I don't even know how to describe some of this. Some of this is just shenanigans. But good for them. Good for Sam Altman and WorldCoin. Good for everybody. I mean, I'm not going to be scanning my iris to be held in a database. But if that's you, and you want provable identity, you do you, brother or sister. I know multiple men and women who've already done the iris thing. So, right, we just talked about this. MoonPay, Agora, Paxos, Frax, and others are challenging Stripe to issue Hyperliquid's USDH stablecoin. I don't know, man. This isn't. I don't think it's all that interesting, but I mean, there's already a couple different stablecoins on Hyperliquid. You have Felix, which is an over-collateralized CDP. You've got M0 with their USDHL that they gifted to the chain. They work with multiple companies on creating decentralized stablecoins that are cross-chain compatible. Yeah, I just mentioned we do need more stablecoins, but I don't know if USDH would necessarily be better off, I suppose. I don't even know why I'm wearing earphones. I don't even know why I'm wearing earbuds, because I'm not talking to anybody. You can put them back in their charging. I will say, again, thank you so much to those who like and subscribe and follow. If you could please, I'd really appreciate. If you did follow, you can follow me on Twitter at C Soriano. If you have a recommendation for a pair of earbuds, this is my AirPods case. I love it, and I use AirPods 2nd gen. I have AirPods. I got my wife AirPods Pros, the 2nd edition, and I can't stand the battery life. I mean, I need something that works well with. I'm in a Mac ecosystem that can last at least 10 hours for the day. That does handoff and all that easy stuff, so I can just kind of move between devices. I probably should look into the Beats lineup, because I hear they have better battery life, but the regular Apples, regardless of if it takes an hour to go back to 50%, I think the battery life has been absolutely atrocious, especially for the last year and a half. With that said, enough of me bitching about that. Let's grab this. Hashkey unleashes $500 million to build Asia's largest institutional bridge to crypto. By using a fund? How does that work? Okay. Really? I totally forgot they had a chain. They have a layer 2 with the HSK token. And this is Asia focused, so it's not really anything that I need to particularly look into. My goodness, what a long ass article. We already talked about that. We already talked about that. Ina's up. That's always nice. Institutions are starting to bail out H-bar. That's good to see. Oh. There's two versions of that. Cryptocurrency news is going with the I guess it's pro bull, right? It's bullish because they did refund the FTX customers because they did acquire the EU unit of FTX to launch their perp exchange. Good for them. Shout out to them and the team. Is it National Bitcoin Day? Oh man. 21 BTC purchase from them. Looks like they're walking back from selling some assets, eh? Let's see. Avantis eligibility checker live. Make sure you do that if you're looking at the Avantis fund at Avantis Fi. Kinto on Arbitrum, they're shutting down. They didn't really get a hard time making a dent. Eric Trump's American Bitcoin stake. Eric Trump predicts Bitcoin to $1 million. Now we're going back to hopefully over the weekend. There was some news over the weekend. So there's going to be some interesting talk this week, right? Because the 17th, next Wednesday, they've pretty much said it's 100% on Poly Market, at least it's 100% chance that it's going to be there's going to be a rate cut, probably 25 bips. That's a lovely little chart there. Treasury yields may turn volatile. No shocker. So yeah, next week's data is going to be very interesting. I don't think that the rate cut is priced in necessarily. So we could see a lot of movement upwards on risk on assets based off of that. Yeah, this is news. Stablecoin X secures $530 million investment to back an ENA-based treasury. I'm a big fan of Athena. I don't think that's a shock because Athena is barely a year and a half old. which is fascinating that they've been able to leapfrog DAI or Sky Money to become the third biggest stable coin in all of DeFi behind USDC and USDT. And they've done it in a way that's really different, right? Because they take minted money, they put it in ETH validator stuff, and then they also use some of the money to short BTC and ETH futures, amongst other things. Now, you can definitely check out their website. They're very transparent in what your money is going towards. So, and they just keep continuing to expand. So, wow, 3 billion in ENO. Good for them. Disclosure: I'm a holder of ENO. I mean, I've talked about this on our call specifically for our members, but Arbitrum Drip did launch last Thursday. Okay, last Wednesday, I suppose, with more incentives because, Arbitrum, the chain for incentives. Am I right? More ARB, more ARB being given out. Except it's not to GMX this time. It's mainly to these groups. Oh, this is unfortunately ChatGPT has doubled. That's unfortunate. But they're daily rewards. The majority of them, if you go to the Drip website, is in ARB, which, however you feel about ARB is really up to you. I'm staring at my kids right now who are trying not to make a ton of noise while I'm here live on the internet. But Sharon, am I right? Wow, 20 million ETH and USD assets were minted on Arbitrum on the first day. Yeah, I mean it's definitely one thing that they're doing here. This is nice. Yeah, so if you use Arbitrum, which many of you should, it's the chain that we start off on with new users in our communities, just because of the central nature at this point of where Arbitrum is in the ecosystem. There's the hub chain for USDT0 for Tether. Easy to get to from our recommended CEX, which is Coinbase. It's free to send money there, ETH and USDC rather. So, and there's a lot of great protocols who have really strong liquidity bases on Arbitrum. So it's a fairly easy spot to recommend. Interesting. Yep, I'm gonna grab this article just because there's more details on new things that are launching that didn't check out before. All right, we'll go another day back because it's really the only, as far as we need to go. Then we'll check out Google. Then we'll check out DeFi Llama. Right. I mean, if you're outside of the feud with Benjamin Cowan, not a whole lot to look forward to if you're a Litecoin holder, even an ADA holder, because you got stomped out by Trump media not being included in the 5. But Crypto.com's Kronos coin did, to the surprise of many swing traders who have been swing trading the shit out of this coin. Wow. So they've bought 684 million Kronos in a structured purchase and custody agreement. Price an average of 15 cents per token. Man, remember when Kronos was under a penny? I do. Chairman Devin Nunes. What do we got to say, buddy? CRO has tremendous potential to spread widely as a versatile utility token and a superior form of safe, fast payment and money transfer. Is that so? Talk to me, Crow holders. Tell me more about what I'm missing out here. Sorry, I just need something to eat. All right. I don't know what they worked out to make this happen, but respect to Chris Marchalik, the co-founder and CEO of Crypto.com, for working this out. I don't even know how you make this work. Not saying that CRO is a dead token, but man, shout out to VVS. Shout out to some of these older chains, Mad Meerkat, and some of these others, these mainstays on Kronos, man. EVM side, the Cosmos side. I don't even know just the Cosmos side. But the Kronos blockchain as an EVM compatible chain, man, they've gone through some things. So Trump Media is going to integrate Kronos into the Truth Social and Truth Plus reward system built on their wallet infrastructure. The active user will be able to earn, spend, and transfer Crow natively within Truth Social's ecosystem, driving adoption beyond speculation into... Is this just a name recognition thing? I was thinking about this over the weekend. I was like, how on earth does Crypto.com get a seat at the table? Is it because they own the name Crypto.com? So just for the average user, from a marketing standpoint, they think that this is a decent deal? Because I'll be very honest, I am lost as to how Kronos has come up as a better opportunity than, I don't know, 70 other coins in the top 100. You got to give it to them. I mean, they've done the legwork. They went and got the money license in Singapore. They went and got the money license and moved stuff to Dubai. They still own the Crypto.com arena where the Clippers and the Lakers play. This definitely wasn't on my 2025 bingo card. Yeah, I'm literally just screenshotting this for one of my co-founders because he is a total bear on Crypto.com. This is gonna drive him nuts. Oh, that's great. I mean, I'm not laughing, but I'm giggling about this. I mean, to me, it has to be the fact that they're Crypto.com. Like, they're thinking for the average person. How will I know where to buy crypto? So buy to Crypto.com. I'll be honest. Smart. It's probably why they named the company Crypto.com. But most people who are in this space are just going to scratch their head. And they're like, why'd you go with that, man? A lot of other teams that you could have gone with. But no, I honestly think that's probably what they're thinking. It's like, if you're going to ask the average person, hey, I was curious of what you know about crypto. Where do you think you'd go and buy crypto? They would probably answer, I should probably go to Crypto.com, right? They're not going to say, oh, maybe I should consider Coinbase, even though they also have a very good relationship with the president. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fascinating, though. Fascinating. Kronos has... the fact I just see the headline, Kronos as the backbone, is just wild. Wild. SEC announces international fraud task force targeting pump and dump schemes. It's a cross-border task force, including pump and dump and ramp and dump schemes. So this is going to be big. September 29th, they're actually having a full roundtable on September 29th. This is not something that in the last 4 years you thought would ever be a thing based on policy for the last 4 years. So the fact that the active chair of the SEC is being active in this space, overall, very bullish for crypto, bullish for DeFi. Don't get that twisted. Yeah, I mean, the fact they said by working in lockstep, the SEC and the CFTC, that never would have happened, not even a year ago. Jack Ma. Yunfeng Financial buys 10,000 ETH. Yeah, so this has been interesting. I'm trying to remember who did it. It was the cards platform. But people are going crazy over Pokemon again, which is fine. Apparently this is... Yeah, Fidgetals is one. Let's look at Fidgetals. I don't know how any of this works. I'm old. But I saw a bunch of people going to shows this week, over the weekend, and just selling tens of thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon cards for stuff like this. Taking profit, I suppose. And who knows, maybe those collectors go and tokenize them. I mean, I don't discount the idea of something like this blowing up. So if you're looking for, meta-defining events, this could definitely be one of them. I mean, there could be tremendous asymmetric upside over something like this. So something to consider there. Interesting. Kazakhstan. I was thinking of the wrong name. I was going to say Bruno, but no, Kazakhstan is... Oh my God. Borat. Make great nation of Kazakhstan. Approving stablecoins and official fees in a regional first. Good for them. I'm assuming it's their own stablecoin. Okay. Anybody. Binance and Bybit are going to be one of the first two digital asset trading facilities. Good for you, Kazakhstan. Swift executive says banks will absorb the best of public chains. Don't like that. All right, I think we're at the end of that. Let's move down to... My goodness, I need to clear out some tabs. Google News. And generally what I do here is I just look up crypto. Yep, there's that WorldCoin Treasury. We already talked about that. We've already talked about this. Yep, that is Justin Sun. I believe they've unfrozen his... I don't know if they've unfrozen his tokens. This powerful new bill could erase criminal charges against developers. What you mean? Bitcoin and crypto developers will be protected from being charged with operating an unlicensed money transmitting business moving forward and retroactively. That's big news, guys. It's big news. Open banking looks better than crypto. I completely agree. Check out my live streams on Fridays specifically about that. You can check them out on my Twitter profile. Just go to Beacon DeFi's Twitter for our Beat the Banks trainings. All right, we'll hit up Llama Feed. Haven't seen anything else that's amazing. Human. Filecoin continues steady bullish momentum. Up it. Oh, Coinbase is adding support for SPX 6900 as well as Flock on Base. That chart's probably ridiculous right now. October 1 and 2 for token 2049. Congrats to anybody going out there. I probably won't be seeing you there. Looks like we've talked about this. Is this another one? Please don't tell me this is another one. This is another one. We've talked about this a couple times. People are like, you shouldn't solo mine. This is the third time in 3 months that someone has done the equivalent of winning the lottery, which is literally mining and being rewarded for a blockchain pool. With only 200 TH with regards to their hash rate. Or once every 100 years. It's better than that, guys. It's the third in 3 months. I would not be shocked. I mean, this is exactly why solo miners buy solo miners. Yeah, they're not. They haven't talked about the two others that have also done this. Unless this is the same one and they just decided to pay it now. I don't know. Misinformation, maybe, who knows? All right, looks like that's all we're gonna find based on, today's stuff. I'm not really seeing anything in particular that kind of jumps out to me here. Oh wow, Yo is doing a Yo Yer as opposed to a Yo USDC, or in addition to rather. That's good to see. All right. Wildcat Labs raises 3.5 million in seed. Cool. Well, stay safe out there, guys. As I mentioned earlier, stuff's getting kind of crazy. So that's all we really have for today. Let's work with me for this week. Hopefully you guys are having a good time again. If you've been following my streams, we're playing some SoulForge Fusion. So shout out to the SoulForge Fusion team. We're doing that as a community engagement experience. If you'd like to join our community to play along, it's a turn-based card game that's available on multiple. It's available in person as well as on chain on Solana and Base. Please feel free to join our community. We're actually going to be holding some tournaments. So if this is something that's interesting to you, join us, school.com/beacon. Absolutely free to join. Learn about some DeFi as well. We have plenty of free content to help you get on your way. We have stuff on the docket. Tomorrow is our weekly Twitter space. It's called On Air with Beacon. We're working on getting a fun team there tomorrow. And then Wednesday is our weekly podcast, our Beacon TVL show. It's live streamed here, as well as to our YouTube and multiple other places, such as my beloved retake.tv. Buy Retake token. Not financial advice. They're great. That's all. Have a good day, everybody. Keep on working and stay safe. Again, like I mentioned, I would not use the blockchain right now while this is all kind of happening. But if there's updates, I'll be sure to update. Take care. Have a good day.